So you failed on your OMAD. You don't have to worry about failing on a diet or a routine like OMAD or fasting routine or something like that, or both or all of it, or training. You see, when in doubt, go back to this. Go back to this. All right. Always think of the training analogy. You don't go like with training. You don't go like, all right, I failed today with all my push-ups, so I'm not gonna try tomorrow. You always have tomorrow, and then you always have, you know, the next day and the next day and the next day. So it doesn't matter if you even totally fail. Let's say you eat all day long. It doesn't matter, all right? Because you will gradually move towards this. You will gradually move towards it. There is no such thing as, you know, usually most people have to take things gradually. I did it gradually. It's not like I immediately started with OMAD and dry fasting and, you know, perfected this. That's why I'm saying perfected. It's not like you immediately perfect this. It will take time, all right? But it will take some time to adapt to this. This will be your new standard eventually. But it won't be like, oh, a year. It won't be a year from now. It will take a couple of months, all right? It only takes a couple of months. And also keep being physical, because this will motivate you as well. Because, you know, the results. You need for the results, you need both, you know, if you want your abs to show, you gotta eat correctly, you gotta fast, and you gotta train. That's it. You gotta diet, fast, train. That's it. Sleep well, and so forth. So if you fail, don't worry about failing. Failing is success. Failing is success. Inaction is true failure. Inaction is true failure. The fact that you're trying to change means that you're on the right direction. You're on the right, you know, path. Because failure is necessary. The error is necessary because there is error in nature, right? So what I'm saying is, don't worry about failure because you have the next day, all right? And the same way with, let's say, pull-ups, all right? Think of your diet the same as pull-ups. Let's say I can barely do one pull-up, you know, you just hang there. In the beginning, that was me, you know. So I was just hanging there, and so there's a lady there, and so I was just trying to hang there, you know, do my pull-ups. Now I can do, you know, 20, but it doesn't start with 20. It always starts with barely a 1. It always starts with this. Perhaps not even 1. I could barely do 1. I don't even think I could do 1, actually. I think I'm you know, reinventing here. I think I wasn't able at all, actually. So, but now I can do them because I made enough push-ups as well. You know, I could do some push-ups. I could do like 7. I can show my old notes, I think. I think I still have them somewhere, or at least in a digital form. I think I threw them away because, you know, I don't believe in logging everything like that. I log everything here. Everything that is important will be here. Everything that I forget is not important. You think of your diet the same way as your pull-ups and push-ups, all right? For example, the fact that you couldn't do one today doesn't mean that you're not gonna stop. You want that pull-up, so you're not gonna stop trying to create that pull-up, to be able to do that pull-up. The same way with diets, the same way. You won't give up on diet. You will find your joyous diet. You will find your diet. You will find your fasting routine with diet. You will find, you know, you go OMAD, you go dry fasting, but you will find your own, of course. You will find your own. And you find this through experimentation and guidance, but, you know, choose foods that you like, but not just that, you know, you can have that eating window for 3 hours or 2 hours in the beginning, but limit that eating window as much as you can. You try with 1 hour. So you weigh yourself and you see how much you've had. You can weigh yourself as you're eating, But after you've had your meal, and then you see the next day whatever happened to your weight, and then the next day and next day again, so you see over a week whatever happens. But remember, some of it will be water weight. If you're worrying too much, you can hold water, but that's why we dry fast. You see, I like dry fasting for 22 or 23 hours, and then eat in 1 hour or maximum of 2 hours. Depends on, I try to get 1 hour always. You don't worry about it. The same way you don't worry about failing making 10 push-ups today, and tomorrow you will try those 10 again. You only did 7, for example. If you fail on OMAD diet, always go back to the analogy of training. You don't just drop your training. You want those abs. You want those. That is the higher desire, all right? That is precisely, when I speak of higher desire, that is precisely it. You want those abs, all right? I know that most people don't even care about their health, but at least you care about getting those abs. So if you want those abs, you got to eat correctly, fast correctly, have a routine. You got to have a routine. You got to have a normal new standard. It will be your new standard. OMAD, dry OMAD will be your new standard. It will help you, always keep lean. That is how you will always be lean. I'm always lean. It's not like I'm bulking and cutting. There is no yo-yoing here. No yo-yoing. We keep it simple. We keep it super simple, ultra simple, dead simple. Can't be more simple. Rather, life simple. I don't like death, because death is nothing. You keep it simple. You don't worry about it. You move on. Tomorrow, you have another day tomorrow. Doesn't matter if you did, even if you did like 3 hours, 4 hours, 5 hours, and then, and most of the day was fasting, and you had, you ate like 5 hours or something. That's still better than most people. You're still ahead of everyone else. All right, and it's not, it's not a competition in some sense, but you're chasing your own shadow, all right? Your old self, it's a competition of your old self, your own shadow. That's the best, because I know that it won't work for you, because you're not trying to be here, you're not trying to be Michael Jordan. I understand that you're trying to be fit. I want every single person to be fit. The same way, we have all these Spartan soldiers, let's say, in our brains here, in our imaginings here. We have all these Spartans here. Every single person has a great body. Actually, back in history, so to speak, it was only, the very top, and rarely those people were obese and fat, because, you gotta be a warrior. You gotta be a king, warrior, emperor, and protect your people, and, whatever you gotta do, and you're in battle. When you're in battle, you can't be fat. It doesn't help you at all. So, like Marcus Aurelius. Now, that's a philosopher king there, right there. All right? So, I want every single person to be ripped, to be always lean, always healthy. Being lean and healthy, but you don't have to be shredded, all right? You can have your other ideal. For example, I'm starting to, I'm not that big on the shredded thing anymore. Once you start, you will understand you will like some other stuff, your desires will progress as well. You will see that, all right, so, I want a little bit more fat, because it looks a little bit healthier than being too shredded, all right? You don't want to be too shredded, and you don't want to be, so you see, there is a counterbalance in everything. But the best counterbalance is, of course, you dry fast 22 to 23 hours, and then you eat for 1 hour. That's the best counterbalance metaphor for everything. I realized that recently. So you see, your life is, as I've said in my earlier lectures, you see, life is this, you have the heights, highest heights, and then you have the depths. But the depths here represent, meditation, relaxation. We need that as well. We can't just be in the heights. The same way you can't just climb Mount Everest. You got to take a rest somewhere. You got to rest, and then you move on again, up in the heights. So you see, you just keep on moving upwards. This goes with everything, and not just OMAD, not just dry fasting, but always remember the training analogy. All right, I always have tomorrow. All right, I did fail this week. I did fail, and I failed. I failed writing 1 page a day or 10 pages per day. But you see, those goals, perhaps you were a little bit too ambitious, but you learn by being too ambitious. You should be too ambitious, and then you go back a little bit. When they say, what is it like, 3 steps forward? Well, I think they say 2 steps forward, 1 step back. Well, you should be more like 3 steps forward, 1 step back, 3 steps forward, 1 step back. All right, that's what it should be like. 3 and 1. All right, so you always move forward, even though you see you take 3 steps here and then 1 back, but you see I'm still forward. At least I'm moving forward. That's progression. That is progression. All these steps, the steps are the most important. All right, the fact that you're taking a step, the fact that you even want to do this, makes you greater than most people. The fact that you want to change your diet and all of this means that you care about your health. All right, so now I gotta train. Eventually you will have full control over your diet, OMAD, dry fasting. Once you fast, do a 36 dry fast or 48-hour dry fast, and even 3 days dry fast, and you will feel that you can do anything. All right, because that means you can survive without anything with 3 days. You can survive in nature, for Christ's sake. All right, we're strong, we're human, we're resilient, we're like the birds plucking worms. We're the exact same thing. All right, don't confuse yourself. You're human. I look like Tarzan.